Hello, I'm Ryan F9, and despite 300 years of industrialized textile development, leather. Polyester, polyurethane, polytetrafluoroethylene, Kevlar, Cordura, aramid, none of it can hold a candle to the side of a clapped-out dairy cow. So why is it impossible to beat the beef? Hit it!
Skin does two things. The first is load transfer. It has to be strong because it's the one material through which we always get a grip on the world. But it's also metabolic. It's got to absorb water, make vitamin D, reproduce to replace the comrades that get ground off. So that means it has to be very tough below and very fine above. And because it's a grown collagen, that structure is chosen intelligently at the cellular level. See, atomically, leather is just amino acid sequences, but molecularly they make triple helixes, quaternarily they make fibril bundles, and at the structural level, which is the first one that your eye can even see, well, the fibril bundles choose an architecture that is specific to the specific depth of the skin, intelligently. And that's why leather is one constant material that manages to be very tough, tensile and tear resistant down below in its dense fibril base, but also very permeable to sweat vapor in its fine papillary upside. Woo! Let's take a look.
To your eyes and to your senses, leather is one substance all the way down. This collagen is doing 4 different things for you, but you'd never know it, and that's why leather is so unbeatable. Sure, synthetics can be made to withstand high tensile force, or tearing force, or many flex cycles, or to permeate lots of vapor, but man making any one of those abilities takes away the others. Only leather plays with a full deck. Now, I know what you textile engineers are screeching. Let's just layer 4 synthetic materials together. A mesh slip liner for body vapor permeability, then a strong aramid like Kevlar for tear resistance, then a slippery Cordura for sliding strength, top it all with some type of polyurethane for water resistance. I hear ya, but I suspect that this overstacked feature sandwich is gonna fall apart the second that it gets bit. Hit it.
First thing I notice is that all those layers ruffling against each other, it just doesn't feel good. I mean, no one expects a 4-layer condom to excel at load transfer. I'm also uncomfortably hot. 4 air gaps is a recipe for a Cree sweat lodge, not a comfortable summer garment. But right now, I'm not worried about any of that. My primary concern is I can feel it bunching and tugging and binding and pulling and all the layers rubbing up and bunching. Ah!
This gaping disappointment is the result of something called shock load. Because multi-layer garments can slide against each other, they're liable to bind up, then release, experiencing sudden but very high tearing forces. I'm sure the makers of this jacket would love for me to talk about how it does slide at an A-level abrasion resistance in the ideal fake world of the laboratory. But is it really fair to give them any more airtime than they gave us slide time? Now, I can hear the vegans screeching at their phones. They're saying rather than layer 4 fabrics, why not take the fibers from 4 desirable fabrics, mix them all up and bind them together into some kind of leather-like synthetic? It's an interesting proposition, but like jackfruit tacos, the surface similarity quickly devolves into a runny mess. Hit it.
Remember, collagen builds itself into the ideal hierarchy, and there's no way to imbue our creations with that level of intelligence lest we become gods. And the best we can do is called weft and warp, and as the 2-part name suggests, it's just weaving 2 materials together thread by thread. But then all your properties are bidirectional. Now this is stretchy in one axis and strong in another, but it won't behave in the myriad of directions of a tumbling crash. Unlike leather fibrils, which interweave randomly, no better, organically. Woo!
The closest scientists can get to that is to take your desired potpourri of fibers, mix them all up suspended in some type of bonding agent. But that means there exists some kind of manufacturing temperature where your material is liquid, and a hot slide will make it liquid again. Do you know what dimethylformamide and toluene have in common? Well, both are things that you don't want melted into your skin. Well, thanks very much for watching, and thanks to our sponsor, which is My Own Key Wrap. We built these to stop our keys from jangling around and scratching up our headstocks while we ride. Talk about full grain leather's flex resistance. Mine is a couple years old, as the patinaed F9 emblem can attest. I estimate it's done 3,000 cycles, and it still hugs my keys as snug as ever. Click the link below if you have the money and are tired of getting poked in the thigh, but if not, please don't spend a dime or a minute shopping. It's far better to go ride.